Right, so hello and welcome back to Books and Things, and welcome to another video, and welcome back to my TBR Advent Calendar. So my TBR Advent Calendar, my Vlogmas this year, is very kindly sponsored by Serious Readers, who make amazing reading lights like this one, and I'll leave some more links down below to where you can find out more about Serious Readers, and I'll also leave below the offer code I have on at the moment if you're interested in looking at them for yourself. And I'll also leave in the description a link to the introductory video I did to this video project so that you can understand what I'm doing here. But basically I'm picking a short book from my physical TBR every day in December, which has been really fun so far. So let's pick today's book. Reach down to my shelf here, and oh yes, we have some poetry. So this is 2nd April by Edna St Vincent Millay. So I bought this a little while ago because I read like one Edna St Vincent Millay poem randomly and I thought it was so good I just wanted to read more, so I ordered this collection. I guess this is out of print, like I think this is an out of print edition. It's like a photocopied edition, you know, that kind of one. It says the initial one was published in 1921, so this is some early 20th century American poetry, and yeah, I'm excited for this. Hello again, I'm back. I've just finished reading 2nd April by Edna St Vincent Millay, which I really enjoyed. Definitely more successful than the Swinburne poetry that I read earlier this week. It was earlier this week, wasn't it? I think it was only like 3 days ago. I just lost all sense of time. So Edna St Vincent Millay was a sort of early 20th century American poet, and I really like her poetry, and I looked up the poem that I read, the individual poem of hers I read somewhere else that made me buy this collection, because I wanted to remember what it was called, and I'm going to check now because I've immediately forgotten again. It was called Dirge Without Music, which isn't a poem in this collection, but I thought that poem was so beautiful that it made me go out and buy this collection, and I really enjoyed this collection too. She really reminds me of Mary Oliver, so if you like Mary Oliver's poetry, I think you would like Edna St Vincent Millay. And it was interesting actually, I sort of had a Google because I felt like surely she must have been an influence on Mary Oliver, and it does seem like she was. And in fact, this may sound weird to those of you who don't subvocalize or who don't subvocalize with voices, but I've had a long chat about subvocalization at some point on this channel. I'll leave a link down below. But if you don't know what subvocalization is, subvocalization means like sounding out the words in your head as you read, which is how I read, but is not how everyone reads. You know, when I'm reading a book, I can hear a voice in my head reading the words to me, like a little audiobook in my brain that my brain is making, and they often have voices. And because Millay's poetry reminded me of Mary Oliver, and because a while back I listened to an audiobook of Mary Oliver's poetry read by Mary Oliver herself, I therefore, in my mind, read these poems in Mary Oliver's voice, and that worked really well. That's really random, but as I was reading these poems, I was hearing Mary Oliver's voice reading them to me, and I enjoyed that a lot. Very random insight into my mind there, but yes, I thought these poems were great. I suppose they reminded me of Mary Oliver's poetry because it's an interest in nature and sort of how that connects to humanity. There's also a lot of poems in here about grief, and I personally love a poem about grief, and in general I just found this a really enjoyable, interesting collection. Some poems I love more than others, as usual, but I might read you a poem, as I didn't do so for Swinburne the other day. I tell you what, I'm going to read the title poem. I'm going to read Song of a 2nd April. April this year, not otherwise than April of a year ago, is full of whispers, full of sighs, of dazzling mud and dingy snow. Hepaticas that pleased you so are here again, and butterflies. Their rings are hammering all day, and shingles lie about the doors. In orchards near and far away, the grey woodpecker taps and bores, and men are merry at their chores, and children earnest at their play. The larger streams run still and deep, noisy and swift the small brooks run. Among the mullein stalks the sheep go up the hillside in the sun, pensively. Only you are gone, you that alone I cared to keep. I really enjoyed these very much. So there we go. That's another day of the TBR Advent Calendar done. And yeah, really successful one. So thank you very much for watching. Do let me know if you've ever read anything of Edna St Vincent Millay's poetry. And otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow with another bookish video.